So if you just want to know what encoder to use, I would just recommend using the GPU accelerated NVIDIA encoder, or if you have Mac, use the Mac encoder, set your target bit rate, whatever it is that you want to use, and just stick with that. The MainConcept one, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm mistaken. It is slower. I don't necessarily find it to be better in terms of quality, but you can go ahead and rate that for yourselves. If you skip to the end of the video, I will have the clean examples of the rendered NVIDIA encoder at 50K bitrate. Well, actually, everything here is going to be rendered in ProRes, but I'm going to leave those rendered videos at the end, rendered in ProRes. So basically, so we have multiple encodes going on. Basically, we're going to have, I recorded ProRes video of a cat. I then rendered that ProRes video into 4 different formats, 2 in MainConcept and 2 with NVIDIA, slow and fast preset and slow and fast preset, okay? Then I'm rendering this entire video. So what you're seeing now, including those 4 files, rendered all at ProRes as the original file quality. Okay, so the original, then rendered, and then rendered again, and then YouTube is gonna render again. I don't know if this is actually going to be worth it. So with all this different kind of compression and algorithms, what encoder should you use? Honestly, it depends on how much it's worth getting the little tiny bit extra. I would just stick with the balanced default NVIDIA encoder. If you have NVIDIA GPU, if you have a Mac one, use the Mac accelerated one. We do now have MainConcept inside of DaVinci Resolve, which is what you're here for. But I mean, I don't think we're gonna really see it online when it goes to social media, if that's what you're delivering to. Maybe if you are delivering to like a professional and like cinema grade or something where it's going to be way more advanced and you're going to give the final master quality, I think maybe the MainConcept one will be better. It definitely takes longer, it uses more sophisticated algorithms, it even says it gets better bit rates. But for me and you, maybe social media creators, people who are working in businesses, people who are working normal things, like nothing like I guess over 50K budgets, then I would just stick with the regular default hardware encoded NVIDIA GPU encoder. Maybe leave it at balanced or even faster or fast if you need it to be. And maybe I would recommend trying yourself the MainConcept encoder and see if that's any better for you. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the video where I went and tested it, if we're gonna see a difference or not. Okay, thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments below if you have any different opinions or different thoughts about whether this encoder, or how do you use your encoder, or if it even really matters at all. Maybe this is just like too nitty-gritty details about something that's not that important. You guys let me know. Welcome back to another video. DaVinci Resolve 21 has now been released. So if you haven't gotten it yet, you can go ahead and download it. It's still the beta version, but it's available in the studio form. But I wanted to show you guys this new feature that has just come with this update. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Here, we now have the option to use the MainConcept encoder. So before, I'm currently using an NVIDIA GPU, so I have either NVIDIA or native, which uses the CPU, as well as the MainConcept. So what I wanted to do is what they claim is a 30% better bitrate efficiency, meaning for the same amount of bits, the same amount of data, you can get up to 30% higher quality. I only see this encoder for the H.265. So if we switch to H.264, I don't see it. We have NVIDIA and native. Only for H.265 do we have the MainConcept. And it has the similar type of settings, but it has constant rate factor as well as constant quantizer and variable bit rate. And then they also have presets, as in the speed from best quality to fastest, and tune, which I haven't tried out in this video, but VMAF is like a tune specifically based on the perception. This is the datasheet for the MainConcept, and it says, like we said, up to 20% better bitrate encoding efficiency than open source, 2.5 times encoding performance increase with hybrid GPU acceleration, 30% encoding time saving with Sabent technology. I'm not sure what the Sabent technology is, ARPANET Smart Adaptive Bitrate Encoding Technology. So I went ahead and tested this. I took this video that I took in ProRes on my Lumix S5 IIX, 648 megabits, so it's a really very high quality file, 422 color, and I rendered it in 4 different formats. The first 2 are with NVIDIA. So if I hit to modify this, you could see I rendered it at H.265 NVIDIA, 50K bitrate, the very fast preset, and then everything else stayed the same. Adaptive B-frame, no look ahead, no 2-pass, no weighted prediction. If I go to modify this one, let's just discard the changes. All I did was change the presets from very fast to very slow. That is the Cat2 file. And then we switched to the MainConcept one. The MainConcept one is the Main 10, with the best quality, variable bitrate, default tuning in 50, the same bitrate as before. And then we have the next one, which all I did was change the preset from best quality to fastest. So we're testing everything at 50K bitrate, and then I have some examples here in DaVinci Resolve that we're gonna go ahead and look at. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention is the difference in encoding time. You could see that the fastest NVIDIA one only took 5 seconds compared to 13 seconds for the very slow NVIDIA, and then 20 minutes for the MainConcept slowest, like the best quality version that they have, and then 11 seconds for the fastest version. So I'm really gonna compare these two to see the differences and if it's worth it. So I'm gonna open up the timeline, but because I'm using OBS and this is gonna re-encode my screen, what I'm actually gonna do is at the end of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and render all these in the video, and this whole video is going to be uploaded to YouTube in ProRes, and YouTube is going to do its own compression algorithms. This is the original ProRes video on the left, and then the MainConcept fastest. And if I zoom in, and we'll open up the inspector and just move it around, I mean, there is not that much difference between the original. There's a little, I mean, obviously it's much lower bit rate. So there's some differences here in the hair and the eyes. And if I go ahead and play the video, you're not really going to see too much of a difference. Now, if we look at the best quality version, here it is at the same frame. If I zoom in here on the eyes and move this over, I mean, I don't really see much difference at all. Like, yes, but this took 20 minutes. I would definitely not be using this at all. 20 minutes to encode a video. It's only 13 seconds long. So it's definitely not worth it for me. Now we're gonna look at the NVIDIA ones. And then I have another example where we have all 4 of these encoded videos. So this is the NVIDIA, 13 seconds to render. The very slow, which is considered like its best quality. Let's just go ahead and move this where the eyes are and see if we can see any difference either. This is like very pixel peeping. So are we really going to see a difference here? Not that much. Not that much, honestly. Not that much at all. So we're comparing the original ProRes to the encoder, very slow preset. So the NVIDIA very slow preset is very good. You're not going to see much difference. Now we're going to look at the very fast NVIDIA one. See if this one has any difference at all. The NVIDIA is on the right and the original ProRes is on the left. It's been like that the whole entire time. I mean, I don't really see much difference. If I go ahead and disable, see, this is the original, which is only available here. And then this is the NVIDIA one. Like I said, I didn't see too much of a difference, but here I want to show you now the difference between which two, the 13-second render NVIDIA, as well as the 11-second MainConcept at the fastest. Now we can compare our two encoders, the NVIDIA one and the MainConcept one, the best NVIDIA one to the fastest MainConcept one. And we're going to see if there's any difference here. And if we do see a difference here, then we can be able to pick, because they're very close in timing, in times of render. So then we could pick which one we want out of these two. So it looks like the NVIDIA one is slightly better. I mean, this is pixel peeping. Is anybody going to see this in a final video? Probably not. Even though I will say the NVIDIA one does look a little better. You can see more lines in his face here. His eye looks a little sharper of the cat here. Let's just go ahead and reset everything. And in a full video, you're probably not going to see it. That's why I picked this frame to look at. If we zoom in, maybe look at the whiskers. Yeah, the NVIDIA one is definitely a little sharper. I think the NVIDIA one is a little better here, even though it took a little longer. That's the very slow. So how much is it worth it? I don't know. You guys can decide for yourselves. So this is going to be these two are both MainConcept. This one is the best quality in MainConcept, 20 minutes to render. This one up here, this third one, is the fastest version of MainConcept, like 11 seconds to render. Then we have the NVIDIA best quality here. So we have the two best qualities, MainConcept, NVIDIA. And then we have the fastest NVIDIA one, which is like 5 seconds. So 11 seconds. This is 20 minutes, 11 or 13 seconds, 11 seconds, and 5 seconds. So big differences here. And then I'm just gonna zoom in on all of them. You're not gonna probably see a difference here, especially with OBS. If we zoom in again, let's go the other way. Now we're zooming in on the eye. I don't know if you see any difference here. I barely see any difference. And then we're gonna zoom in one more time, get closer to the eyes. All this is the exact same frame of the exact same video rendered. MainConcept, NVIDIA. I mean, they all look good to me. And then I even zoomed in even further so we can see if there's any difference. And it's honestly, it's really hard to tell. So are you really going to get any better quality by rendering and taking up longer times to render? Probably not. Now, I guess it's nice to have the encoder. Maybe you guys found different results. You guys let me know if you find different results. But what I found is I'm probably going to be sticking with the NVIDIA encoder. Even though I really wanted to use the MainConcept one, I just don't see any reason to use it unless you're using constant rate factor, which is different. But even NVIDIA encoder has the target bitrate quality. So you could just set a quality, or you could do constant QP. So these are all their other things that you could do to get there. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Please hit like and subscribe if you learned anything, and let me know in the comments below whether you're going to use the MainConcept encoder and if you're going to test it out yourselves, or you're just going to stick with your NVIDIA or the Apple encoder compared to the MainConcept one due to its longer render times.
With these cats. How about this one? Sammy! Oh, she's scared. With these cats. How about this one? Sammy! Oh, she's scared. With these cats. How about this one? Sammy! Oh, she's scared. With these cats. How about this one? Sammy! Oh, she's scared. With these cats. How about this one? Sammy! Oh, she's scared.